Let's do it.
All right, welcome, boys. This is going to be a lot of fun, I hope. First of all, thanks, Riley, for organizing the tournament. And so Brian's vision was to put together a dream team, if you will. And so we asked Coach Bromage to pick a number of guys and coaches and players from the past. And so what we have here is a collection of the first 5 guys that Chief chose for the team. And we'll talk to Chief a little bit about why he picked who he picked. And I do like his philosophy on why he picked who he did. But anyway, I just want to say, what's up, boys? I see everybody's got their gear on this morning. I think that's great. And we see Chief from his war room, which if anybody's ever been to it, it's really awesome. Lots of baseball memorabilia and pictures and things from the past. So anyway, Chief, how you doing over there?
I'm doing fantastic.
Great.
You look like $1 million.
You do too. Get the smirk off your
Hey,
face.
I'm a $500,000. You're the full million, buddy.
All right, so Chief, let's start with you. So let's talk about why you picked who you picked. So we'll go with Ray Turek first. So you tell me why Ray was a guy you wanted to put on your ball club.
Well, what I did the first 5 picks, and then Riley got me confused. He said he wanted 12 altogether. So I picked 7 this week. So I got 12.
All right, that'll be
So
good.
what I did the first week is I tried to come up with an infield or guys who could play the infield.
Yep.
And I started with the best fielder first. And that's where Raymond came in.
Whoa.
Riley. Riley.
Wasn't expecting
He
that.
didn't say best arm. He said best fielder.
Well,
Yes, that's true.
one thing about Riles, 2 years ago, he was studying the pitchers. Last year, he decided to swing the bat, and he actually hit the ball. And I
Better
think
than most.
He did.
he's probably hitting 500 now. 0 one year and 1,000 the next.
All right, so you got an infield. You went with your best fielder first, and I think a lot of times when we think about Turek, we think about the offense, but he was a heck of a fielder. I mean, you had him playing shortstop as a 10th grader on a heck of a ball. That 90 ball team was loaded. It was a really good team with Tweedley and Martaccio and Caminetti and Kevin Miller and all those kind of older kids, but Turek played short right away there.
Yeah.
Well, I had some growing pains. I had a nickname.
Bobbles.
Steve, did you remember
Bobbles.
the nickname?
Bobbles.
Bobble,
think-
that's right.
I think Brad gave me that nickname.
Because you did it when he was pitching.
Yeah.
See, I don't feel so bad now because when Turk was pitching, he called me Bobbles.
There you go.
Pass it on.
Cost
Just
him,
passing it down.
3 games.
Passing
How much
the
it cost
tradition.
him 3 games?
You know that's why I have the name Little Richard, is because John Grace was Big Richard. He had to distinguish between the two of us,
I love
as
how
he called us
passed
both
down.
Richard.
Well deserved for both of them.
Nicknames get passed down. That's the way it works, right, bro?
Better believe it, Raymond.
So, Chief, tell us a little bit about why Steven Martaccio. I mean, so he could play on an infield, and he often did. I know you used him at short, but he belonged in center field at all times. But,
Well, we got a guy we can flip back and forth
sure.
between the infield and the outfield. He can bat lead off. He's such a small strike zone. We can get the leadoff guy on.
So you're saying he's our Eddie Goodell? Is that what you're saying, Chief? Jesus.
Absolutely.
Now, Chief, a question going back to those years. Did you put Tosh at short because Turek was pitching? Is that why we were doing that his senior
Oh,
year?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
To run that backdoor pickoff.
We had a couple of those, buddy. More than a few.
Plenty of opportunities with men on second. So
Yes, we did.
And he also played second base.
Yeah, I played a little bit when Serrato got hurt my sophomore year, and then a little bit here and there when needed.
Yeah.
So let's shift over to the Goucher choice because obviously he's a pitcher, He could play the outfield very well too. Actually, very underrated hitter with that right-handed swing. He liked to hit everything to right field, but
He's real underrated as a hitter.
yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Below the underbar.
I knew the punchline was coming somewhere with that one. I was being serious, but
Goucher had a white bat,
Oh shit.
a pure white bat. And he went the whole season. It wasn't even a ball mark on the bat. So
Gouch. Is that true, Gouch? I don't believe that.
Oh, he must have.
It is true because he hid the fucking bat on me. Didn't let me use it.
Just focus on pitching, Jay. Don't worry about hitting.
yeah, just pitch.
Right.
Dude, I think the one thing no one talks about when we talk about Gouch, obviously everyone knows he's a ground ball pitcher, changes his speeds, throws strikes, keeps your guys on their toes. But like, I don't know if anyone has had a better pickoff move than Goucher.
Yep.
From what I've seen, Gouch has the best pickoff move that I've ever played with.
Very La Russa had one too.
Yep.
Yeah.
So he's in a short list.
Yeah, right.
But guy got on second. Rarely we picked him off every time.
Yeah. No, he had an excellent.
That's awesome.
He was-
Sometimes, Riley, we put him on second base just to piss Brum off and then pick him off.
Right.
So
So no one ever talks about that. And I've never understood why. But Gouch has had the best pickoff move since I've been playing baseball.
Riles, you had something unique too. You used to walk a guy just so you could hit him on a pickoff at first.
We've done that a couple times.
Yeah.
No
more pitching.
Yes.
For me. I'm done.
Chief, do you remember the game where I want to go back to Martaccio for a second. Do you remember the game where he went head first into the fence and it was the day of the prom or the day before the prom?
It was over Simsbury.
Yep.
He's lucky it was a 4-foot high fence and he went right underneath it.
Mike Bonacani was playing left field, and all Mike kept yelling is back. And then he was like, fence. I hit that fence at full speed.
And
Tweely got out there from shortstop, looked down at me, and his eyes were like this big, and he just starts yelling, "Get the medical kit! Get the medical kit!"
and
My
that was
legs were under the fence.
So that was the
Yeah, he-
outfield fence that you went in face first.
Face first. I hit it face first, and I hit it hard enough that my legs ended up underneath the fence. I got scraped right up to my knees, and
He
I
hit
had
the
a
bar,
chain
he
link
hit the
mark.
bar first.
What's
and
that?
Then his face slid right down the fence.
I still got a scar on my nose from like a chain link part of the fence that hit me.
And your date was happy because you looked better after.
That is true.
oh,
Very true.
Yeah, I don't think she noticed.
So there was another memory I wanted to recall, and that's the game where we're going to talk about Turk for a second. So it was his senior year. We played South Windsor. Chief, you remember that game where Ray, did you pitch that game? He hit for the cycle. Did you pitch too against South Windsor that day?
No, I don't think so.
You weren't pitching.
No, that was my junior year. That was junior
Oh,
year.
it was. Yeah. Did we win that game?
No.
Yeah, see that.
Probably.
Jesus Christ. He
Odds
hit for
are
a damn
no.
cycle. It wasn't Raymond's fault, that's for sure. Chief, what do you remember about that? I mean, do you remember an offensive game that might have been better than I'm not sure.
I was gonna say not too many cycles, I would imagine.
Did
that
you
you
have
can
another
recall.
kid hit for the cycle, Chief, that you can remember?
No,
I had a couple of guys hit against the cycle against me.
In the first inning.
I'm not talking about an opposition. We
yeah,
know
the
that
whole
shit
team
happens.
Riles.
first
No,
four
I-
batters, right, Riley?
Matter of
Oh.
fact, that Raymond could be the only person I remember hitting for the cycle.
Yep,
I mean,
The
some
home run
guys,
was off Gary Burnham. That was what made it sweet.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And it was the last at bat. It was your fourth hit, right? That's what
Yeah.
you needed.
Yeah,
And I
basically loaded.
Was it a grand slam? It was a
It
grand
was.
slam.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, that's the part of it that was tremendous, is that
Yeah,
prick was good. and-
some guys have hit 4 home runs in a game.
At Info High for you?
Who hit 4 home runs? Why the hell aren't they on right now?
Right? They should be in the first 5.
Why?
Well, you had Krikorian, I think, had at least a 3 home run game. I'm pretty sure that's on the plaque at school. It may have been 4.
Jay Wheeler hit 4 home runs against Hall.
Jesus.
And in the second game, he hit 2.
Are you kidding me?
And
That's
altogether, he knocked in, I think, about 15 runs.
Oh my God.
So here we are at the league meeting, and they had this coach Fitzsimmons, and we came to picking outfielders, and he doesn't vote for Wheeler. I
Oh
said,
my God.
you don't remember a guy who hit 6 home runs and knocked in 15 runs?
Right?
You okay?
Wow.
Yeah.
That's sad as hell.
Boise hit 3
Yep.
against Avon.
Yep. I remember that one too.
Mhm.
Boise.
Ray, how many triples did you have in your career?
That might have been it.
That's a great question.
I mean, because that's the hardest one in the cycle anyway, but
Yeah,
it wasn't.
true.
I think I could have scored. I just wanted to hit for the cycle.
Hell yeah.
Hold up.
So
Hey, dude, you forgot. We got to talk about you, Chief Doobie.
Yes.
Let's talk a little bit about Doobie.
yeah.
All right, we need a first baseman or an outfielder.
Yeah.
Left-handed hitter.
Yep.
Guy who
Probably
can
your
hit.
4 hitter.
Pardon?
Probably your 3 or 4 hitter, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, Dubes, you check off a lot of boxes. Middle of the lineup guy, very versatile, probably still one of the better arms in the
And
collection of
an
guys that are
excellent
going to take the
fielder.
field.
Yeah. You know, it's funny. That whole outfielding thing, to this day, it still doesn't feel natural to me. I was always a first baseman. And I know I didn't have any business over there, just being my stature. I'm 5'8". I always felt like an infielder, just with the wrong arm. You know, as a left-hander, would have probably made a decent second baseman. But hey, Gouch, the outfield part of it, my arm, like Tosh, you said this last year. I didn't have that arm really in high school. I pitched okay, I didn't throw hard, but my arm kind of came out of nowhere. When I got to college, I really, my arm got a lot stronger. I'm not really sure why, but
You and I were similar that way. When we played in the men's league together, you and I had different arms than we ever had in high school.
Yep.
And could throw some people out now all of a sudden.
Yep.
But you have that nice long, just that long, easy throw. Ball just still comes out of your hand nice.
yeah, I did develop into I would say a right field was really where I belonged, even though it's never felt natural to me. But I like first base the most, and in terms of hitting, geez, Goucher for Laconia, he put me second, and I second in the lineup, and I started to really like that. Taking more pitches and just taking a little pressure off of having to try to hit the shit out of everything. Just being a little more selective. There's just something in the back of your mind that changes when you hit in a different spot in the order. But anyway, it's been a big honor to be a part of all of this. But to have your coach say, hey, you're one of the first 5 guys that I'd like to have on the ball club, I think means a lot to all of us. So
It really does.
No
it's
doubt.
nice to hear those things. So let's go over to Goucher. Goucher, I want to hear a memory that you had from your years playing for Enfield High. What's a moment or a game? I mean, we all know you guys went so far that year, your senior year, and you were a big part of that. You had a ton of wins, just about all the wins on the mound. It was a wild run, but do you have a moment, even if it wasn't a good moment, maybe it was a funny moment, like I talked about Junior going head first into the fence and Turek being Mr. Bobbles, and and then he hits for the cycle later in his career. But Goucher, what's a moment that just the first thing that comes to your mind when you think about Enfield baseball when you played?
Mute.
This is what
Is
he
he
does
there?
on his classes online too. He's muted.
You're
No
still
kidding.
muted.
The students don't
Oh.
tell them though.
Hey, there you go. Yeah.
Hey,
Shit, I'm never online with our students. No, for me, I would tell you this is like for us, I don't think there was like, it was always somebody else made, not like somebody else, but it was like you would we had 9 guys. I think we had 10 guys on our whole entire roster because half our guys went to play for Bromage's favorite guy, Carl Scarfo. And so we lost a lot of our guys, but it was always somebody else would step up and make a play for a win. I mean, for me, I felt like I started believing when we beat Manchester and South Windsor on back-to-back days, or like 3 days in a row. But it was just always somebody, like if it was Riley making a play or Papa Petro or Mercick in the outfield. It was just always somebody contributing. It wasn't like, okay, we had the one bat in the lineup you feared. We never had that in our lineup. It just was always something. And it was good. And I mean, I remember earlier in the year, we lost to Simsbury and Brum goes, Goucher, get your ass over here. And he was right. I was coming off a football season where we were freaking terrible. Basketball season, I think we won 1 game. And he goes to me, if you don't believe you can win, we're never going to have a shot at winning a baseball game this whole entire year. And that sort of resonated with me. It was just a mindset that we had to, hey, flip the switch. And then I think we had a win. I think we beat Public when there was 2 outs and someone I think Ferry hit a pop-up and the second baseman dropped it. And we scored like 2 runs. And then next thing you know, we ended up won that game like 5-4. And then we went on a big run, but it was just like we had to believe. And then even though it was against Public at that time, it gave our team an opportunity to believe that we could win. And then, we started playing really good defense. Riley figured out, he stopped bobbling the ball, and, we were able to make plays and win games, pitching and defense.
Hey, Chief, did you just save that speech for the good teams, or where the hell was that?
Oh, we got that speech, Ray. We just didn't respond.
Gouch, we were like a week and a half away though from Doobie being on that 94 team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just missed the deadline. And I've always blamed your parents for that year. Like we could have won that state tournament title with you.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I appreciate that. I really did belong. I was a year too soon, academically, mature wise, athletically, whatever. I was fine. I had a fine career, but I think, there was more to that. And then I would have loved to be along for that ride because you guys all came into your own as seniors. I could have been a part of that. And who knows how much I would have given us another arm, to go along with Gouch and certainly hopefully knock some people in. But hey, coulda, woulda, I guess. But
yeah,
you were a year behind. Steven would have been able to throw you into that storage bin.
You know what, though? I needed that.
This is being recorded. Keep your mouth shut, please.
No.
Hey, dude, we got to talk about the coaches Chief selected too a little bit.
Yeah, Chief, go ahead and tell us a little bit about. I love how you did that.
One little tidbit there. With that season, with Goucher doing his pitching, Riley pitched a no-hitter against New Britain.
What a one-hitter! The guy led off the game. It was a one-hitter. He led the game off with a bleeder up the middle.
I must have been watching something else.
A one-hitter, Bri. That's awesome.
It was the best game I've ever pitched. And then, that was a great game.
Hold on. Did you say that was his only hit of the year? It was one hit, or he threw a one-hitter?
That could have been true too.
Okay. All right. Both.
Well, New Britain's not a slouch. That's for sure.
No.
That's a hell of an outing.
Yeah, that is. That's
so,
awesome.
Chief, tell us about your coaching staff for this trip.
For next year.
Yes.
Yep.
We're going to have La Rosa, Angelica, Charlie Ragno. Who else do I have?
Tweedley.
Yep.
Tweedley.
And Jack Taylor.
Jack Taylor. Now, Tweedley, we could activate him while the game's going on and use him as a designated runner. He only runs 9 miles a day.
I was gonna say he's got the distance down still. He's got to have a little bit of speed still left, right?
Yeah, we only got to run 90 feet, Brad.
That's right.
So that's the coaching staff.
Outstanding.
That's a great crew. A lot of good experience right there.
Yeah, a lot of bullshit stories.
I was gonna say some great stories, right?
Oh yeah.
Chief, give us a date. Go ahead, Chief.
Larissa's gonna bring his glove that I wrote on each finger. Things for him to remember pitching.
Did you really do that?
Absolutely, I did.
God, I hope he still has that. I want to see that.
I think he still got it.
Throw strikes, god damn it.
Don't be a touch hole on the mound.
And that was back in the days of 9 innings.
Right.
Chief, give us a good Charlie Ragno memory that you might have. I think he had a game where he had maybe a 3 home run game. I remember him telling us, or he hit a home run in a river behind the damn field. Maybe when you guys were playing in the Valley Wheel. But do you have a Charlie memory where he just, sure there's plenty, but what kind of a ball player was he?
Charlie?
Yeah.
Probably the most aggressive player I've ever had. He could run, throw, but you never knew how far he was going to throw it. I mean, occasionally at shortstop, he'd make a beautiful play and then get some windshield in the parking lot. So when my ex-college coach asked me how good a player Charlie was, I said, I'd put him out in center field. You can run like a deer. Let him go after the balls. He can throw like hell.
Yep.
And finally, it'll reach the cutoff, man. But he was a super hitter.
Yeah, he showed that 3 years ago when he was 65.
That's
Still
right.
swinging the stick.
Yeah.
Against Meyer.
Yeah, he had more contact than I had the first 3 years back.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. Charlie, we were playing Minichog out in Wilbraham. And we picked a guy off of second base. And the guy slid hard into Charlie. Charlie drops his glove with the ball in it and starts beating the crap out of the guy because he ran into him. And that's the way Charlie was.
Wow.
Occasionally he'd come in and he'd lecture the pitcher. And the pitcher was usually Dave Tucker.
Goucher's got his third period class acting up over there.
Sorry, my daughter fell. Give me a second.
Oh, no.
I
That's
wonder
all
what
right,
the
brother.
hell that was.
You take care of it.
It sounded like Gouch when I went to the mound.
So, Chief, you brought up Brad Tweedley, and I'm always going to ask a question about that. And Ray and Steve, you guys were both on the field for this game that I want to ask about. Is just what do you remember about playing East Hartford at night? I'm pretty sure they were double L champs that year, and I'm pretty sure that was their only loss that year. And Brad no-hit him. So, Brum, do you have Chief? What's your memory from that game? Just an overall.
Oh, he pitched an outstanding game.
Yep.
His control was fabulous.
Yep.
Usually he had a little trouble with 3-2 pitches, 3-1,
Yep.
but he was ahead all night and just tough as hell. Just came right at him, and that was it.
And that East Hartford team had, a kid who went right into the minors with the catcher, Jim Gonzalez.
Yep.
Who was the pitcher? Sawyer went and played D1 down
Sawyer.
in Florida.
Stetson.
Yeah, at Stetson. There was another kid. Who was the other kid?
Mason?
Ask Doobie how he liked Gonzalez's arm.
Any of us. I mean, Gonzalez was amazing.
Yeah, but Martaccio was your senior year.
Yeah.
Where we play up there. It's night game. I get 3 hits, but I got picked off twice on the base paths. We get destroyed because of that. I thought I was hot stuff for getting hits, but and Bromage said it. He said, "Don't screw around with this guy," and I did, and he burned me
And then
twice.
I don't know. I think it was the same game. Somebody else got walked or got a hit, and Brum pinch ran Anthony Pascus, if I remember right.
Yep.
And Anthony could just run. Wasn't the best baseball player, but Anthony was fast.
Yes.
So Brum gives him the steal sign because if that was a pretty close. At their park, it was a close game. At our park was a different story, but
Yep.
At their park, it was a somewhat close game.
Yes.
He threw Pascus out by I don't know, it had to be 10 feet. I mean, it wasn't even close. And we're all just like, oh my
It
God,
was ridiculous.
that's
Yeah.
bad.
And
Yeah,
I
Gonzalez.
remember because there's scouts there looking at him,
Yeah.
Gonzalez. And I remember, I think Chief said something to that effect, I was getting hits and I'm like, oh, they're going to look at me and a little, that's not the way it works.
Yeah.
But I got picked off twice. So what,
And
I
he
didn't
threw
show
from
great-
his knees.
Oh, yes.
Gonzalez never.
Both of them. He picked me
Yeah.
off second, getting too much of a lead. My secondary, I didn't get back quick enough. And then it was a loose ball, it was a dirt ball. And
Yeah.
I just took off to third and he threw off balance from his opposite leg. And
Yeah, like a shortstop.
Shortstop throw, 4 or 5 feet thrown out, maybe 10 feet. Yeah, that was a hell of a memory.
But yeah, that squad that night, Gonzalez was the only guy against Tweedley who really made what I remember legit contact. I was playing center, and their center field, I think, was 398 or 401 or something like that. And he hit 2 balls out to me where I had my back almost on the fence.
Yeah.
And if you remember, the lights at East Hartford, at least back then, weren't the best lights. He hit 2 balls that went like over and out of the lights. So you were tracking the balls as they went up and then trying to catch it as it came back down. 2 times to the fence in that game. And the second, his last at bat, when the pressure is now building for the no hitter. And I don't think we won that game by a lot. That was like a 2-0 game or a 3-0 game or something, wasn't it? I don't think it wasn't like we were ahead like 6-0.
I think it was 1-0.
Yeah, it might have been 1-0. Gonzalez literally put me to the back of the fence.
Wow.
Caught that thing with my back up against the fence. And he was the only guy who looked like he was going to do anything against Brad that night. Yep. And it was another one of those just nice moments when, someone has an opportunity, because that's when scouts were starting to look at Brad, both like real colleges and some pro guys were starting to sniff around. And he just stepped up and had one of those rare moment games that very cool to be a part of.
Yeah. Raymond, what do you remember about that game? I mean, you're playing shortstop and the 4th, 5th inning starts bleeding around. You probably start thinking about, is the ball going to come to me or not? And, am I going to be the one to, whatever. You start thinking that way. Turek, any memories from that game, being a sophomore and starting on that team?
I remember shitting my pants thinking, God damn it, this thing better not get hit. No, I don't think I really had any action that game. I don't think anything was really hit hard.
Second.
I think he walked the leadoff guy, and then we turned 2. He got a comebacker to him. We turned 2. I think that was the only time I touched the ball that game.
Yeah.
Wow. So
Why was a no-hitter?
Must have, right. Well, had a lot of Ks too. He must have. Yeah. Anybody remember how many Ks he had?
I don't remember.
I want to say it was like 14.
13 or 14.
Oh,
Yeah.
Jesus.
That's crazy.
21 outs in the game.
That's crazy. I think I struck 14 kids out the whole entire senior year.
But that's all right. That was your job was to get it in play, and
It worked.
Really nobody's done that better. Throw strikes and just force people to beat you. There was
You're just like you're like an Iron Man.
That's right.
I just remember I would talk to Brum on the phone, and during your guys' run in '94, because we still were talking when I was in college, and it seemed like every time I talked to him, because it would be like once a week, maybe every week and a half or something. Be like, yeah, Goucher won 2 more games. Goucher pitched in 3 more games. It's like, you had anybody else pitching?
No, we didn't need to. Tosh, Goucher beat Manchester and South Windsor, I think, on 3 days rest. He pitched 7 innings both games, and it was like
it's insane.
It's a 1-hitter and a 3-hitter or something like that.
Through all of these reunions, unfortunately, you're still the Iron Man. It's like, where's Goucher? We need someone to pitch. Where's Goucher?
That was last year. That was last year against Windsor Locks. I was like, we were at Mike's having a few drinks. And I'm like, okay, we got Meyer, so-and-so. And then Meyer got stuck in the Big E. And Brum's like, Goucher throwing. I'm like,
you're starting.
I was like, I was planning not throwing at all.
Right.
Hey, Dube, how are we on time?
We're doing okay. I think we have 5 or 10 minutes, so we can.
Okay. I think we got to talk a little bit about Cooperstown, just so we can kind of iron out all the logistics and everything. So it's July 3rd weekend, and I wanted to either go a day early or stay a day late. I'll leave it up to the guys in the group. Hotels are booking fast. Like, we got to get on this sooner than later because I think it could bite us in the ass with hotels.
Okay.
Everything else is set. Everything's paid deposit. We just got to get a place to stay.
Okay. All right,
And for
great.
that
So
weekend- yeah, for that weekend, it's hard. Like everything's booking up. And then Chief, it's 35 and over. So anyone that's 35 plus, feel free to pick.
well, and Chief said he's got some other names for us, Riles. Do you think it'd be all right if we heard some of his other picks?
I would love it.
All right,
Okay,
Chief.
You asked for 12 altogether.
So you have an additional 7 guys right now.
I have an additional 7.
I love it.
You've
Let's hear it.
already been picked.
Yes.
All right, you want them all?
So 7 and 5, we're going 13 guys today, right?
All right, I picked 4 pitchers. So now including Goucher, we have 5 pitchers.
Staff almost is complete.
Lenny Whitten,
Yes.
Nice.
Robbo Whitten.
Whoa.
Got to get Robbo in shape.
Chief, he's going to beg you to bat fourth. He thinks he's hot stuff with the stick. Just a little tip there.
Yeah.
He's not
Yeah.
going to leave you alone.
We haven't heard
Yep.
him show up since he hit one off the wall last year.
Yeah, he hasn't stopped.
And he hit that foul ball too, don't forget.
Don't forget the foul ball.
Yeah, the foul ball.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't forget that foul ball.
And then we got Meyer.
Legendary.
Yes, good choice.
And then we got Freddie. Freddie started working out 2 weeks ago.
Great.
I asked him whether it's for his Thanksgiving meal or for the game next July. And I have 2 other players, Dave Vizina
Great.
and Steve Anagnostou.
Excellent.
Oh, wait a minute, I got the 7th. Steve Hanjack.
Great.
Like it.
All great picks.
And
Super.
that way we got with Dave, he can play third or he can back up Hanjack catching.
Absolutely. Well done.
And Aggie's another guy who can play infield, outfield, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
good
that?
arm, great speed.
But he's not
Who's that?
going to.
Yeah.
Who's that, Richard?
Me and Turk got that. He's not playing short or second. Tell him to
I was
stay in the
saying Aggie's another guy who can flip infield, outfield.
Yeah.
He
Good
starts
arm, great
taking his
speed.
shirt off and flexing. I'm kicking him off the team.
Yeah, I mean, I would think you're going to want him in the outfield, but it is nice to be able
100%.
to play him in a lot of spots if you needed to. Heck, he
Hey,
could
Chief.
pitch.
Did I give you 7 people?
Yeah, I think so.
I
You
think
give
so.
us another
Yeah,
one. Go 8.
Did I give you Tom Alonis?
No.
No.
No, but that'd
No,
be a
then I
great one.
didn't give you 7. You
There
guys
you
had a
go.
little trouble counting.
Well, who was the math teacher? Jesus.
Yeah.
And,
The only
and
two
Riley
left
had a little
is
trouble
your
with
Turk.
fractions with Mr. Austin. He thought 5/8 was bigger than 3/4.
Well, there was 5 of them. It sure is.
By the way, should give a little shout out to George Tomalonis. He's,
Yes.
He's
Doing
in the
well today.
hospital. He's having bypass surgery.
Okay.
Yep.
And
He had
doing pretty well.
Good. Chief.
yeah. Yeah, he's doing well. Yep.
That's great
So
news.
always been a fan of you guys.
George
He
has
has-
always been a great
Yeah.
supporter.
Big time.
He's always supported us. And me and Doobie talked. We were going to have George and Tom Owens do the draft of the 90s guys because they were kind of around that time.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So as soon as he gets better and he's ready, me and Doobie might go up and film it in his hospital room. But
He's not gonna be there that long.
We'll
He's
wake him
gonna be out, but he'll be out sooner than later, guys.
That's
He's
great.
doing well.
That's great news to hear he's doing well.
For sure.
and following up with just following up on Chiefs' first 5, I think another reason why he picked it is we're all still in relatively good shape. And I know you're going to take this seriously. You're probably going to train. You're going to get ready. I don't want to go up there and get embarrassed. So, and I know you guys don't either.
No.
Yeah.
So I think that's another call out that I think Chief was thinking about too. Like just guys that are going to take this serious and get in shape and work this whole year. We're going to get ready. So
Yeah.
I'm going to need every day of it.
yeah,
Well,
Right. You're right about people being in shape. Plus, there's another reason. You send a thing out to all these people and they all volunteer to come and play and so forth. And then some of them don't show.
Yeah.
So I kind of am making my picks by the guys who are conscientious. They're there all the time and guys you can count on.
I love it. And it's a good, like the guys you listed, good chemistry. Like we all like each other. I think it's going to be fun.
Good group. Definitely a good.
Mhm.
Good.
And it's Cooperstown. I mean, come
Right.
on, right? I mean, it's the hallowed ground, man. It's gonna be awesome.
Have any of you guys ever played a game in Cooperstown or coached up there? Chief, have you ever been a part of something on Doubleday Field or
Yeah,
tournament in Cooperstown?
We went up there one year to play the Dutch team,
Oh,
We
that's
got
right.
snowed out.
and we got snowed out. So
And middle of April vacation, we got snow.
Oh, my
I've coached
goodness.
3 games up there. It's beautiful.
yeah,
Yeah,
It's amazing.
nice.
Raymond,
and about
so
10
you,
inches of snow.
Raymond, you brought Bethel High
Yeah.
up that way?
3 times.
Junior,
now up there.
Junior put his bat up in the air so we could find him.
You asshole.
Well,
Hey, dude,
yeah.
last thing too with the uniforms. So you got to vote, not now, just vote on the page. White is running away with it. Everyone I've spoke to, they all want the white. And I didn't know this, but like the first uniforms, according to Randy Ladd, they were white. It was white with green letters, right, Chief?
No, Randy's wrong.
Okay. Were they gray?
They were
Yellow.
gray. They were gray flannels.
Great.
Okay.
And Raymond's father probably wore gray flannels.
Yeah, his is great. Yep.
Right, let's get some flannels because mid-July we might need a little extra. Got to sweat it out a little bit.
And
You're
then
It's like playing in a bubble.
obviously,
Oh,
the
could
way
be
you
that
get
far.
selected from Chief is your number selection too. So we can't double up on the
Right.
number.
Great. I'm wearing 11.
I'm before you.
Jay's already shouting it out. I love it.
I called it. I called
Yep,
it 11.
You did.
I'm older than you.
Yeah, you're the oldest in this group. You're older than Bromage. I thought you went to school with him.
Oh, shit.
Well-
Uh,
All right, let's
Right,
wrap it
you're
up,
good.
guys. I want to thank everybody for all this, but more just the fellowship and just getting a chance to chit chat every once in a while. This has been hard, I think, on everybody in one way, shape, or form. But it's great to get together, and hopefully soon enough we'll be able to do it in person and have a cold one and enjoy. So
Hey, Dupes.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at the background there. Are you down your cellar?
I sure am. Yep.
Son of a gun, you are Biden.
It is accurate. Yeah.
Hey, Dube, are we gonna have the other crew that Chief selected on a future episode?
Yeah, for sure. I think they'd like that, and it'd be great to chat with everybody. So I don't see why not, and we can
Absolutely.
get anybody to join that they want to.
We got to get the coaching staff a little IT help and get that group on. Just
Yes.
if we can, because that's a group guys got to hear from, get to know, and we
Mhm.
got to make sure those guys embrace this and get them out to Cooperstown with us, because that's those kind of ties to that group are what make this thing even that much more special.
I agree.
I was lucky enough this past summer, drank a couple beers with Charlie Ragnall at the house, and we're only friends because of this thing that got created a few years ago.
Yeah.
And I cherish the moments. I love being able to sort of touch base with those guys, and when Jack came up to Enfield and Dave LaRussa came out to Enfield a couple years back, I got to sit with those guys at Grassmere, around a table with Charlie and just start to hear just a little bit of the stories. And, you see the gleam in their own eyes because they're remembering it and they're talking about it, and you see the connection, and you recall some of the stories from Brum. Getting those guys to come up to Cooperstown with us would be just amazingly special. So if you guys are listening, if you get a recording this from somebody, we need you there, because it's gonna make it even all that much more special, I think, for all of us.
Hey, Tosh, it's funny that you said that because I've talked to all of those guys on the
Yeah.
phone, and they're all committed. They've all said they wouldn't miss it. So
Great.
they're all in.
I'm so excited for that part of it as much as anything else. To ride with this kind of group, Brum at the helm, I might get in shape.
Great
I'm
stuff.
sure you're kidding. You're probably in the best shape of everybody.
Uh,
Just don't tell us.
Damn straight. Yep.
We'll
I
see.
stock in cortisone shots.
That's right. Tweeds, I need those
Macro.
little orange pills.
Macro dosing, Turek. Macro dosing.
Right.
The color's orange, Junior?
They were. I don't know what they were, but boy, my ankle felt better when I took them.
Well, gentlemen, thanks again. Great
Yeah.
job. We'll be talking real soon. Stay in touch and yeah, get to work now. 1 year is going to go fast. So
Yeah, it is.
less than 1 year.
Well, yeah, less now, right?
It
Riles,
flies.
anything else?
I think
Thanks,
we're good,
dudes.
man. Thanks again, Chief.
Thanks,
Hey,
guys.
Riles,
Thanks, Coach.
Coach,
Great
what
thank
kind
you.
of chair are you sitting in, Riles?
This is my swinger chair.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
Very nice, Riles.
I'm sure it is.
All
Later,
right.
boys.
See you
Thanks,
guys.
guys. Thanks for tuning in. Everybody have a great day. Take care.
See you guys.
Yeah.